What's up, you guys? Francisco J. Naras here with my very first video. I think the mic's a little too close. With my very first video, a little background on me. I'm 22 years old currently, and I live in Washington State, in the United States. Today we're gonna talk about how I built a business, the revenue $864,000, and that was last year. That was 2019. So 2019. $864,000, and I was 21 years old. Yeah, when I say that it was like 864,000, it sounds a lot crazier than how it actually went. We were on track to do one. Well, actually, weren't really on track to do a million. Obviously we fell short. And this year, I don't think we're gonna hit a million. We're gonna be short on that as well, because the sickness going around and everything. But still gotta try and do it. Hopefully, hopefully next year, first school year, to hit a million. That'd be really cool. So yeah, hopefully the tips or my story of how everything went on can help one of you guys take that leap into starting a business or into growing a business. It's gonna be a lot of it's pretty basic. We didn't do anything like crazy out of the ordinary besides work our asses off. We did that a lot, and so that's that's gonna be a really big thing when it comes to how we got to where we are now. So what we do is insulation, the stuff that keeps your house warm in the winter and cool in the summer. It's a necessity to building a house, so it is a thing that's needed for a house to be completed, and so yeah, it's essential, in construction. You need it in a house to build it right. When we started out, it was me, my brother, and my dad. We had $5,000, and I know it doesn't sound like a lot, and it wasn't really a lot. We just that's pretty much only funding we had. We didn't do any we didn't have any capital. So that's really where we started out. We knew how to do the work. Me and my brother have background in sales, but we didn't know how to run a business. So this was a pretty big leap into our faith into ourselves. But that's what you have to do. Those risks you have to take. So yeah, just because you don't really know how to do something, let's say like marketing, advertisements, taxes, payroll, how to do all that stuff, that shouldn't keep you from still pursuing a business. Because trust me, we didn't know any of that stuff. We didn't know how to do none of that, and now we do know a good amount. And so that just came in time and came with practice and just figuring it out. Honestly, you put yourself in these certain situations, and eventually you just find out the answer to your own problems, because nobody told us, hey guys, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. We just we're thrown into the situation pretty much and battled it head on, and got it done. So yeah, most of that money we used for licensing with bond and some equipment, trucks, that type of stuff. So that $5,000 was pretty much completely used up for all that. We didn't have any debt or anything to start out the company. We didn't have no credit cards, none of that. We just straight up started with that money, and that's pretty much what got us launched into doing the business. Starting everything up, paperwork, all that stuff. We wanted to be a legit company, a legit business. So we wanted all the taxes, all that, what is it called? We have reseller permits, license, insured, all that stuff. Honestly, I think that that's a necessity that needs to get done. Your company has to have that stuff to be more legit. A lot of companies don't have that type of stuff. I don't know why, but that's going to be the first thing you want to get out of the way. So then, people know that, hey, this is a legit company. So for about a month, we looked for work. We were approaching customers, contractors, all that type of stuff to find work, to see who would be interested in us doing the installation. It wasn't too hard. We just really focused on getting to know the customer. When the customer saw my dad, that was a real big upside for us because they were just like, oh, we know this guy, he's done work for us. Now he has his own company. Boom, it's just a lot more easier to close deals that way, and just really getting to know the customer. That really helped us close up in about a month. We had a pretty good amount of work already. It piled up pretty quick. And one thing that we did focus on was low margin. We were the new guys on the block. We really wanted to make a name for ourselves. So we thought that we pretty much were thinking that the only way we'll actually get an opportunity is keeping low margin and just giving out pretty low prices. Not making much money. That's something you have to sacrifice, I think. If it's like a bigger, really big projects, unless you know what you're doing, I wouldn't really go towards that stuff because that's a easy way to lose a lot of money. Just pretty low margins. We weren't making a lot of money. That's one of the sacrifices you do have to take. And I really think that it's worth it because all you need is one opportunity. If you're good enough, if you guys are a good company, one opportunity, and that convinces the guys too. Hey, just one opportunity. We want to show you what we can do, and then eventually you just start doing more work for them, so you can increase what's the word? You can charge them a little bit more since when you started, because obviously all prices in construction go up all the time. So that's gonna be something that you're gonna obviously explain to them. You're not just gonna get them in the next job, shoot up the prices. That's not gonna be cool, especially for them. They're not gonna like that. So you have to keep your prices low and just gradually a little bit increase, a little bit increase, a little bit increase. And just all jobs, just as soon as we started, almost all of our jobs, just really low margins, and just getting what we can do, getting what we can get. It wasn't the craziest, biggest jobs, whatever, but little by little, we got one job, two jobs, stuff started piling up, and getting material for it. Yeah, that was for about 4 or 5 months, solid of little jobs, little cash jobs, but after that, we really focused on checks, nothing but checks, paying taxes, charging taxes, being a legit company, having a legit quote paperwork, bids, all that type of stuff. You want to look as professional as you can. Approaching these contractors is going to say, wow, hey, these guys are legit. You have clean paperwork. Here's this. You want to go over it? Any questions, whatever? Make it clean. Have your address, your company, all that stuff, contact information. Have their contact information with the prices. It's not too hard to, look up online regular invoices and just make it look professional. The next part is going to be how many hours we worked. We worked a lot. We worked so much hours. For about 4 to 5 months, we worked pretty much every single day. Monday through Friday. Easily 10 to 12 hours minimum. Saturday, Sunday, not as much, trying to take a little bit of time off, but just really focus on working every single day as much as we could. 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., doing the labor, doing the jobs, showing up to the job site, getting everything done, getting home, taking a shower, and getting right to paperwork and customers, all that type of stuff. And that stuff has to be organized. You have to keep track of all that, and it has to get done. The only time we had was after work, so after work we'd go home and get all that stuff done. Invoices, what we got done that day, paperwork for how much material, ordering more material, this, that. If you're a business owner, you already know how it can get. I feel like sometimes some companies don't last because not enough work is put in. I really do think that sales cures all. That's a motto you hear a lot. And you just have to keep trying to sell as much as you can and just work as much as you can, because the time that you have off, let's say you put that time into getting more stuff done, you're going to be a lot more organized. You're going to be able to charge a lot more people. A lot more sales. You're going to get a lot more, bids, that type of stuff done. It's just an overall, the best idea. If you hear, that's my dog. He's walking around. But all that type of stuff can be done on your time off. So that's where sacrificing your time comes in. Some people say, yeah, you have to sacrifice your time. They might not be specific, but just being in your office, just being like, what else can I get done? What else can I get done? You'd be surprised in how many hours you can get stuff done that you would get probably during the week, and now you have more time during the week to get other stuff done, and all that stuff just adds up. Bro, hiring employees, that's a big thing. When we first hired our first guy, it was about a year into the business. We didn't really have enough jobs to hire someone, and then I don't know where it just piled up so quickly that like we could not get everything done. So we had to get someone. It was about a year into the business, and you don't have to wait that long. Honestly, I'd probably recommend getting someone earlier. We were just really hesitant because we were. I'll put this back a little bit. We were a little hesitant because we weren't sure exactly like how to manage employees. Let's go back a little bit. The mic's a little. You know how to manage employees is it's one of the hardest things when it comes to business, and so we were really scared. Like, I don't know, we've never managed employees before, so it was really like a just a whole other chapter into the business. You get used to it. I'm not saying I was the best manager, like, you know, by any means, because that's a really hard topic and, you know, side of a company. But you just gotta, you know, do what you can. Just try to be the best employer that you can, that you truly think that you can be. And a lot of people get scared of employees. Employees, you know, help you make more money, because if you have someone to replace you doing the labor and you get a lot more work done paperwork wise, that gives you more time to go and sell, which in turn gets you more money. And it's just a cycle. You just keep going like that, you know what I mean? So that time that you have more on your hands, that is a lot more, the time is a lot more valuable. That you can go and spend, you know, doing more important stuff, getting stuff done that needs to be taken care of outside of just the labor. And so it's a really big deal to try and get employees. We did pay them cash in the beginning. It wasn't too expensive. We couldn't pay a lot, so, you know, we were paying minimum whatever. But after a certain period, it was probably like a month, we started paying them in payroll, because I think that you got to stay legit. Payroll is a really big thing. You really have to focus on that and make sure that that gets done right. And so just make sure you're on top of tracking down the hours, and then having an accountant. So we have our own accountant. We hire someone to, you know, their own, you know, place, their own offices. And that's one thing that we learned when it comes to like taxes and payroll, all that type of stuff, revenue, IRS, all that type of stuff, LNI. Just have someone else do it. We literally, you know, you pay them, they get it done. LNI, taxes, IRS, revenue, everything, payroll, they take care of it. And all you do is send them the hours. They send you back the stubs with all, and then they send you the payroll for that week, taxes, all that type of stuff. So I really think it's a good idea to have someone else do that for you, because if not, then if you don't have someone else doing that for you, it's gonna take a lot more time out of your day. You know, another thing, take a lot more time out of your day, and anything that comes in the mail, problems with IRS or taxes, oh, this wasn't filled out right, or this wasn't done, you can send it straight to them and they handle it. You know, that's really another thing to get off your shoulder, and it helps a lot. So yeah, you really want let's back a little bit. You really want someone taking care of that stuff. Like, you know, last month alone, June 2020, we paid about $6,000 in Washington revenue, like taxes, and then IRS was like another $1,500, and then like LNI was another like what, like $1,500, $2,000. That's just a 1 month, and all we do is send them our revenue hourly, and then they take care of literally everything else. So I really think that's a good idea to have someone else do it. You know, someone local, maybe someone that has pretty good reputation. That'd be my go-to for sure. And now bidding jobs, so particularly more on like the higher numbers, maybe like, you know, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. What I really recommend is, if you want to go for those jobs, I would make sure they're pretty basic, and just cover the basics. Just cover the basics on expenses. You know, if you have like material, labor, hours, whatever, I don't know, depending on, you know, the industry, you really want to just keep it basic. Just make sure you cover your basic expenses, overhead, and a little bit more, you know, a little bit extra just in case. And then on top of that, you're going to do your margin of profit. If you're trying to, you know, make any, like, we should be making a profit on most jobs, but if it's not like as good or as high as you want it, then just at least cover the basics. Make sure that you're not at least not losing any money. That's gonna be the that's gonna be the biggest thing when it comes to those higher bidding jobs. I mean, I've bid jobs of 20,000, all that, and it wasn't too hard because I made sure everything was pretty much basic, and I've already bid up to 500,000 to $1 million jobs. We're doing $1 million job right now. We're about halfway through it, and cover the basics. And I'm pretty much experienced enough to when I gave that bid, we made a pretty good profit off of it. So that's just comes with the experience. Once you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bids of regular houses, and then these are like apartments, about 500 apartments. So they're just houses stuck together if you really think about it. And the more you do the bigger bids, the easier it's gonna get. Just try making those bids. Just try those $10,000-$20,000 bids. If that's a lot for you, maybe 100,000 is a lot. But just cover the basics. Make sure you're at least not losing any money. Try to make a profit as much as you can while still getting the job. It's tricky, but the more you do it, the bigger chance that the future ones you'll be making a lot more money. So our location, where we are now. So before, what we had was everything was in our kitchen. My brother's room, we literally turned his room into an office. And then we had our kitchen table and all our paperwork. Everything was spread there. It was pretty disorganized, but we didn't have a lot of space. We did that for probably about a year. And then after that, we got a lot with some houses on it, which we changed into offices. So that's where our office is now. But we're actually about to build a really big garage, about 50 by 120, with offices in it, plenty of space. It's going to be really awesome, man. That didn't happen overnight. That was definitely at least... Put this back. I feel like I sound loud. That was definitely at least about 3 solid years of, working our asses off. And, I'm really thankful that it's really close to where we live. And the offices currently, they're okay. They're not, they're not the best, but they're not the worst. Because the houses were actually a little bit older. We just kind of modified them into an office. And yeah, they're getting the job done. But yeah, you really want to look into getting offices that are separate from where you live. Obviously, I mean, live house-wise. Because it can be kind of hard when you mix business and at your house. All your lifestyle, everything gets intertwined with it. Because in the end, what I've seen a lot is people get comfortable with it and they just don't even try to look at places, offices, lots, whatever, for their business. And it's not saying that it's bad to have it at your house and to do your work from there, but you really should try to expand and find a place that's kind of separate from where you live. So then when you go, this is the way I think. Because when you go home, you can just, completely cut off. You're done for the day. And then you can move on to do whatever else you got going on during the day. But really trying to look for an office space. It doesn't have to be crazy awesome or anything like that. Just something simple just to have as an office. And that's good enough. You don't need the newest places for lease or anything. You can get a decent place, $1-2 grand a month maybe. And if your business is doing good enough, that shouldn't be a problem. That should be good enough. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I went over some stuff that I thought was kind of important. I'm probably gonna upload more videos to being more specific, maybe on how I got to monthly revenues of 60 to 100,000 a month, and then bidding a job about bidding $1 million job. Where one's coming up, it's about to be $250,000. We're gonna bid that up too. That's in Oregon. So yeah, or maybe you if you want me to go over other stuff, maybe employee stuff. More maybe on the taxes and having an accountant, because that's pretty important. Insurances, that's a big thing for companies to have insurance and making sure they're getting the right insurance and paying the right amount. That's a big thing I hear all the time. Getting more customers, maybe making bids, making them really clear, making them look good. I can give you examples of how I do my bids, the margins, all that type of stuff. I can share all that with you guys. You can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on Snapchat. I guess I have a Twitter too. You can do that. I'll probably put that in the description. I can put all that information, and you can hit me up. Any questions? Feel free to ask me whatever. I have more of what's the word? Intuition than I do hey, this is exactly how it should go. So I'm gonna be giving a lot of advice of what I think is right and from my personal experiences. So it might be different than what you think you're gonna get, or something completely different. But it's always good to get different perspectives, even on different people who live in different locations. They can have completely different perspectives on how it is to run companies. Just hit me up with whatever, and I'm down to just answer. Whatever. I guess I'm a friendly guy. I'm not gonna scold anybody for any questions. So just ask away. I'm an open book. So yeah, that was pretty much how I built a business at the age of 21, doing $864,000. Now I did have help with my brother and my dad. I obviously couldn't do it without them. My brother was pretty much more on like the some paperwork when it came to taxes, that type of stuff, and my dad was more on how to do the job right. But I really trained myself and really committed myself to try to know everything. So when it came to the biz, when it came to the labor, when it came to the employees, taxes, payroll, when it came to all of that, I really tried to dedicate myself to learning everything. So I was able to do pretty much all of that stuff without anyone teaching me. I could do all that stuff without my brother, having to be in the office, or if he was busy, or my dad not being there. I was able to, hey, don't worry, I can take it over. I can do this and that. And so, it wasn't easy, and it's still not easy. Running a business is extremely hard, and everyone who does have one, they know how it is. It's not daisies and rainbows every day, but if you commit to it and, you really hustle, then I think anybody can do it. I really do think so. So yeah, next video, probably going to be more specific on some things, but just hit me up, and I'll see you guys on the next one.